You wake up with a sore neck. You reach up to rub it, and your fingers find a lump the size of a golf ball, hot and hard under the skin. You tell yourself it's nothing. You go to wake your little brother for chores. He doesn't move. His skin has gone the color of a deep bruise, purple, blackening at the edges. He died sometime in the night, 3 feet away from you, and you slept right through it. By the time the sun is fully up, 3 of your neighbors are dead in their homes. Nobody has come to collect the bodies. Nobody is coming. The body collectors died yesterday. Welcome to Tuesday. The year is 1348. You've been born into 14th century Europe, where life expectancy is about 35, indoor plumbing is a bucket and a prayer, and roughly 1 in 3 people you know are about to die within the next 4 years. Not eventually. Not someday. Soon. You don't know it yet, but a bacterium called Yersinia pestis has just hitched a ride on a flea, who hitched a ride on a rat, who hitched a ride on a merchant ship out of the Black Sea. It made landfall in Sicily in October of 1347. It will kill more people than every war of the century combined. That lump on your neck has a name. A bubo. It's your lymph node, swollen to the size of an egg, fighting a war it has already lost. Give it a few days and it splits open on its own, oozing blood and pus. Your body literally trying to evict the disease through your skin. Then the fever comes, then the vomiting, then a headache so violent that daylight feels like a knife behind your eyes. Your fingers and toes may turn black and die before the rest of you does. That's gangrene. And yes, it's exactly as bad as it sounds. You can rot while you're still breathing. You might just go to sleep feeling a little off and never wake up, the way your brother did. The doctor came. He arrives wearing a leather mask shaped like a bird's beak, the tip stuffed with dried flowers and herbs. His treatment plan? Open a vein and drain out some of your blood, because clearly what your dying body needs is less of itself. If that doesn't work, he'll mash onion and butter into a poultice and slap it on. The ambitious ones prescribe dried frog, or arsenic, poison to cure the poison. None of it does anything. Some of it speeds you toward the grave. He charges you anyway, often padding the bill for desperate, grieving families. Then he leaves, and tomorrow he'll do the exact same thing to your neighbor. Dying is the easy part. It's what comes after that gets ugly. In the worst-hit cities, people are dying by the hundreds per day. Do the math, and the towns did. And you run out of something terrible, living hands to bury the dead. Bodies stack up, in homes, in the streets, in carts that creak through town at dawn to a single shouted instruction. Your town runs out of shovels and gravediggers before it runs out of corpses. So how do people cope with watching a third of the world die in real time? One group decides the answer is pain. They strip to the waist, march from town to town, and whip themselves bloody in the public square. The flagellants. Twice a day they'd fall to their knees and scourge their own backs in rhythm to chanted hymns, convinced that if they suffered loudly enough, God would call the whole thing off. Some soaked the blood into rags and kept them like holy souvenirs. Another group goes the opposite way. Figures the end is here, so why not enjoy it? Drink everything. Spend everything. Throw the party while the bodies pile up outside the door. If you happen to be a sailor, history has a special gift for you. Port officials in cities like Ragusa started refusing to let arriving ships dock. Instead, they held them offshore, first for 30 days, later stretched to 40. 40 days trapped on a wooden ship. Not knowing if you're sick, not knowing if the man sleeping 3 feet away from you is about to turn black and stop breathing. That number, 40 in Italian, is where we get the word quarantine. You're using a word invented by frightened men on a plague ship. If you're one of the ones who lives, your life might actually get better. With a third of Europe in the ground, the survivors wake up to a world that suddenly needs them. And for the first time in history, the peasant is holding something he's never had: leverage. Landowners who used to demand free labor are now competing for it, offering wages, better terms, practically begging people to stay. So that's your life now. Tuesday, Wednesday, and pretty much every day for the next 4 years. Bird-masked doctors who can't help you, mass graves dug before the funerals, and a glimmer of a better world that only pays out if you live long enough to see it. You didn't choose to be born in 1348. Nobody does. And think, well, I made it. That's the Black Death. It was the worst thing that ever happened to Europe. And somehow it built the world that came next. So here's my question. Would you survive a single Tuesday in 1348? Be honest in the comments. And if you're not sure, subscribe.